Okay, how do you solve the 8th generation Accord 4-cylinder weak battery, undersized battery problem? Well, my battery just died. After 6 years, I got a long life out of it, but I decided to upgrade to the two batteries, one of the two batteries that'll fit. Two that I know will fit are the Group 35, which I bought, and a Group 24, which I have in that car over there. When I test fit the 24, into the stock tray, like some say, just drop it right in and go without the battery cover. The problem is there's two problems. One is it does not sit, the bottom does not sit here on the webbing, which transfers the weight to the metal platform underneath this battery tray properly. What happens is, because the dimension is too thick, it'll sit on these gussets, which I cut out. The gussets to support the sides right here actually extend further out onto the tray, and it sits just on these points here and the points in front, and that's not properly supporting the load. So I didn't think that was a good idea. I thought it would be better to make sure that it was properly supported on the bottom. So the first thing I tried was just build a block that fit in there, that raises the bottom up, transfers the weight to the bottom as it should be, and gets above these right here, so it clears the bottom of the battery. But the problem is, with these, then your battery hold down bolts are too short. They're not long enough. The battery sits too high. So attempt number 2 is simply just to get the battery to sit flat as it's supposed to along the bottom, like the Group 51 does. And I found all you have to do is the plastic support for the sides. These 4 little pieces right here, they'll extend out. Just cut them off. This tray is strong enough. There's 4. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And just use an X-Acto. I used a box cutter, sharp one, and cut down and across on all 4 of those. And the battery will not interfere with the bottom of the battery, and it will sit flat against the bottom between these right here and where you cut it off. It'll fit nicely right there. And the benefit with Group 35 is this battery cover will fit. Now, which I think gives additional insulation against heat. Now, one thing you will need is the Group 51 stock battery hold down has got this piece right here to hold the front of the battery. This is the front of the car, this way. Now the back against the back of the battery, and the front against the front. The Group 51 extends all the way out. Extends all the way out. There's the back, and there's the front, and this is in the way. This part here is in the right spot, and if this were not here, you would have the Accord V6 battery hold down. And what you could do, since it's bowed, is just flatten the ears, sticking down with my thumb there on both sides, and this should work. I was going to do that for free, and then I decided, you know what, I'll look around, and I found the V6 aftermarket battery holder right here, which is sized to fit this just right. Goes this way. Front of the car. Fits perfectly right there, just as it should. And these bolt holes, line up where they're supposed to, and the stock bolts will reach as designed, because the battery sits all the way down where it's supposed to, down here, transferring its weight evenly. So that's the solution I came up with. If you go with the 24, there's 2 problems. One is, of course, you're still up on top of these. You could cut these off and it might sit flat, but the width this way is wider, and it sits also on these sides here. You'd have to cut those off, but I think it would still sit on this edge. And the other problem is on the side of the car. There is, well, at least on mine, a 2011. It's got this piece here, and underneath there's some electronics. I don't know if it's a capacitor, ground loop, filter for the battery and electronics, but it's electrical in nature under this plastic cover, and the battery will sit against it if you get a 24F. And then, of course, you can't put the insulator on top, but this will fit on the 35. and then you get the aftermarket hold down. You cut those gussets off. Better view from this angle here, so that the battery sits flush there, and you're good to go. Simple solution. And again, you know, the one key thing that others have missed or don't mention, if they didn't miss it but they just didn't mention, is if you just slap the larger battery in here, it's not going to be distributing the weight across the bottom to the metal. It's going to be riding on these gussets right here, which again I didn't think is a good idea. It'd probably work, but it's simple to remove those. That's it.